And we're back. With us today, we have Brian Fetzer, co-founder and president of Iron Faith Nutrition. He was getting discouraged with the way that people are not taking care of their health and decided to do something about it. So, Brian, welcome. We're so happy you're here today with us.
Jessica, it is an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So please tell me a little bit about what got you started in Iron Faith Nutrition.
9 years ago, Eric Figio and myself, I was still coaching at the time at the collegiate level, and we decided to start a company to try to help individuals with issues that we saw were in place, whether it was inflammation, gut issues, so forth. So we created a product line that really kind of addressed those issues to help people with needs that they might have that they might not be getting in their normal diets.
That's wonderful. Well, you mentioned a few really key components, inflammation and gut health. Let's start with gut health, if you don't mind. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're thinking in terms of gut health?
Well, the biggest thing is people are starting to get more educated on how important their gut is. And it's kind of a funny term when you start saying gut because, you know, people think big bellies. Well, one of the root causes of it is what you put in there. And the gut itself, if you keep in mind this is a huge fact. 70 to 80% of your immune system orchestrates or originates in your gut, which that is a huge piece that you've got to take care of. And sadly enough, in Western culture, we put so many terrible things in our stomach on a regular basis. It's what, the fast food industry, highly processed foods. We consume a ton of sugar and sweet products, and it's really destroying us from the inside out.
So what did you do, like in that creative space, you and your partner, when it came to gut health? Where did you start? Or tell us a little bit about maybe a number of your products and what they do to help people in that space.
Well, one, you got to realize or got to understand what all entails with gut health. And again, I mentioned a little bit ago about the fact that we don't do a very good job of taking care of ourselves with what we eat on a regular basis. What you got to keep in mind too is your endocrine system, your skin, autoimmune diseases, cardiovascular diseases, cancer, all those originate from the gut. So we've got to come up with products to help those out. We've got several. We got one called Gut Health. We have one AB Biotropins, Biozymes Pro Blend, and we have a colon cleanse. So we have several products that really kind of address those issues in a little bit different form and fashion.
So let's start with the first one. I heard gut health. You have a product called Gut Health. Let's talk about that. What's in your gut health product and what does it address?
Well, it's the main ingredient is apple cider vinegar powder. And you hear the adage, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, it's a very true statement. With the pectin and with the essentials of an apple, provide some incredible resources for the gut. And that's kind of the basis of that product. It also has biotics and probiotics in it that help kind of get back what you've lost from all the nasty things you've been putting in your body over the years.
Well, I'm really glad we started with this one. So for our viewers who don't know how helpful apple cider vinegar alone can be, when we talk about our gut health, we have to think about our stomach acid. And a lot of people think that when we have heartburn, we end up, that's from high stomach acid, but it's most of the time from low stomach acid. And when our stomach acid is low, then we can't trigger our digestive enzymes to be able to help digest our food. So you have apple cider vinegar that's going to help with your I was saying hydrogen concentration, your acid concentration. And then it's going to help you with triggering those digestive enzymes. And you said, then it also has prebiotics and probiotics within it as well, which are absolutely necessary. And you said pectin as well, pectin in there as well.
Yeah, and the thing about it is the taste. I take apple cider vinegar shot every single morning myself personally.
Yeah.
My wife does that, and a lot of people can't stand that, taking that shot of pretty high, concentrated apple cider vinegar. So this is an alternative for that. So you can take it, you can get the same benefits, but in a powder form that you don't have kind of that sting necessarily that you have. And when you brought up that point about, low stomach acid, I was having an issue about 5 years ago that I was having bad heartburn. And they came back and they wanted me to, hey, you need to, take this drug, take that drug. And I didn't think I needed it. I needed to figure out why I was having it. And my issue was I had low stomach acid. And so that was kind of the root cause of kind of adding this and kind of bringing that to the forefront.
Now that's wonderful. I think people don't realize it is the low stomach acid and proton pump inhibitors, those PPIs like omeprazole, Prilosec, those are usually prescribed because they'll make you feel better, but they're not helping your system correct the imbalance, which can be from stress and numerous other issues. So that's very important. So that's an incredible, I don't see a lot of companies having an apple cider vinegar product, especially one that's encapsulated so people don't have to struggle with apple cider vinegar itself.
It's an acquired taste, and I don't mind it because I know I take a lot of things and do a lot of processes that probably don't taste real well for you or whatever you might want to. I think it's about trying to get really.
Yeah. So that's great. So that's your gut health. Tell me about another one of your gut uh, supplements.
We have one Biotropins. It's got 40 billion prebiotics in it, four different strains, very beneficial gut bacteria. AB Biotropins is one. Another one is Biozymes. It's a Biozyme Pro blend specifically. It helps with the digestion system, helps prevent food waste, enhances nutrition absorption, improves your overall gut health, and then also your digestive health. And it again has an enzyme, a digestive enzyme in it, as well as pre and probiotics.
So I think a lot of people don't realize that without the stomach acid, without the digestive enzymes, then we don't digest our food to small enough particles to get the benefit of the nutrients in our nutritious food. So we could be eating a very healthy diet, but not necessarily absorb the nutrients from that healthy diet.
In our gut health as Americans continues to deteriorate over the years. When you start talking about obesity and people have, an obese problem and they're struggling and they're trying to do exercise. They're trying to do things that are right. And what ends up happening, like visceral fat as an example, that's the fat in your midsection, that has a lot to do with a low diversity of, microbiomes in your gut. And a lot of people don't put those two and two together. They think I just gotta, eat less and it maybe exercise, or you could be doing all those things and you're not, like you said, not getting the nutrients and the foods are not being absorbed properly. When you start looking at like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, studies and research has come out, that there's issues with the gut health that are causing some of those. So it's way more than just, hey, I'm going to go eat, a Snicker bar, or I'm going to go eat, pasta or so forth. You've got to be really looking and trying to help regenerate and, improve the gut biome that you have.
It's absolutely true. And I know you had mentioned the gut-brain connection here when you're talking about Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. So I don't think people are necessarily aware that there is a connection between the gut and the brain.
I mean, 90% of your serotonin is in your gut, which that is mind-blowing. We just don't understand. We just don't realize it because it's something that most people are not educated on. It's not something that we talk about in schools anymore. It's not something the doctors talk about,
Right.
which is sad.
Yeah, I think it's the education process in conventional medicine doesn't have education when it comes to gut microbiome, but they're beginning, they're getting there, they're catching up a bit. And it's not just the microbiome, as you said, serotonin in the gut, serotonin receptors in the gut. And that alone should tell you, okay, they're also in the brain. Is there a connection here? But the diversity of our probiotics that we need to have, which are the healthy bacteria that are in your capsules. So we have healthy bacteria in our gut. We hear about unhealthy bacteria like E. coli, but we have healthy bacteria in the gut. And it has all of these different functions, such as helping us with mood, helping with hormone regulation, helping with digestion, and so much more. And so you have those probiotics, and in addition, a lot of probiotics don't contain prebiotics, and prebiotics are the food for the probiotics, is the best way to simplify it.
That is absolutely the best way to put it. I would also throw in there, doing a colon cleanse. We have a colon cleanse product when there's a lot of different ones you can do some research on, but doing a colon cleanse to clean out your digestive system is something that every person should do at least on a yearly basis.
Yeah, so in functional medicine, we remove what doesn't serve us, right? We repair the damage. We replace what is necessary, restore function. So that's part of it. Sounds like all of your products, they each have a component in that.
Every single thing we do and we produce has a reason behind it.
That's
It's probably
amazing.
the best way to put it.
That's so good. Well, Brian, please share with us a little bit about you or what you're working on right now or how people can find you and find Iron Faith Nutrition.
One of the easiest thing that somebody could do is we have a code NOW20, NOW20, that you can go to ironfaithnutrition.com and put that in there, get a 20% discount if you're, listening to this show, and you can see all the different products we have. We have a wide variety.
Thank you so much, Brian. Our audience will definitely take part in that. We really appreciate you sharing that with our viewers. And I hope you'll join me again next week.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Thanks for coming. And please join us next week on our next episode of The New Health.